Welcome, everyone. We're giving it a few minutes to allow folks to come in. Um, if everyone could sign their name and their zip code in the chat, that'll be greatly appreciated. This evening, we have Keeping It Positive During the Holidays with Kenneth Brown, and you are at our Parent Power Group. To give you a little information about us, the Al Wooten Jr. Youth Center is a nonprofit organization founded by Myrtle Frey Rump in 1990 in honor of her son killed in a drive-by shooting. The center provides free after-school and summer programs for students in grades 3 to 12 in the South Los Angeles area. The Parent Power Group workshops are presented in partnership with the Green Foundation and other donors, which can be found at www.wootencenter.org/donors. Get Covered 2021, getcovered2021.org. Open enrollment is now for the Affordable Care Act. So definitely get covered in this time of COVID. In addition, do you know if you're up next for your booster? Are you fully vaccinated? No, you must get your primary vaccine first. If you are, which vaccine did you get? Did you get Moderna or Pfizer or J&J? Did you get your second dose at least 6 months ago? If you did, you could be eligible for the booster. Are you 65 plus, 18 plus with either an underlying health condition or with a job or housing related risk? Yes, you qualify for a booster. What type of booster should I get? If you are eligible, you can get any COVID-19 vaccine as a booster, regardless of your original dose. You may also get your COVID-19 booster at the same time as your flu vaccine. If you're eligible and received your second dose of Pfizer, Moderna 6 months ago or J&J 2 months ago, visit vaccinatelacounty.com to book an appointment. So we're going to give it a couple of minutes, and then we'll have Kenneth Brown introduce himself. So Kenneth, whenever you are ready, I can turn over the screen to you. You have to unmute.
I'm okay, I'm ready. Thank you very much. I am so excited to be here, and it is an honor and a privilege to have another opportunity to be able to share with this amazing group of parents. And tonight we're going to have a very timely discussion, which I would like to say is a continuation of the discussion that I had an opportunity to talk to you about a month or so ago, which was stress management in general, right? And we did kind of tie it to COVID-19. But it was a very general conversation about how to cope with stress, healthy coping versus negative coping. And here we are again. And we're having this conversation about how to manage stress, except one key difference. The stressor is related to holidays. And there is specific holiday stress, very specific holiday stress that will show up this time of year that's connected to all of the things holiday, not to mention our own internal and personal emotions around holidays and what holidays meant for us as children growing up, all the way up into who we are today as adults. So without further ado, my name is Kenneth Brown. I am a marriage and family therapist. I'm an associate marriage and family therapist. I just graduated in April from Pacific Oaks College with a degree in marriage and family therapy with an emphasis in African American family studies. I am so excited to have the opportunity to be able to speak to you all today. I currently work at the Jenesse Center, where I provide therapy to men and women who've experienced domestic violence. And so today, we're going to talk about something that I love, which is mental health. So let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. And does everyone see my PowerPoint? Perfect. Yes. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn my phone off so I don't get any alerts in the middle of the presentation. All right. All right, perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and have this conversation. So the first thing I want to say is, everyone, if you have a question, feel free, jump in. You don't have to wait until the end. We will have time in the end for Q&A, but I don't want you to feel like you have to wait, until the time for that. Anytime you want to jump in, you have a question, jump right on in. I will be super excited to stop and address any questions. I'm not looking at the chat box, so if anyone wants to jump in and from time to time shout out something from the chat, I will be more than happy to respond to that as well. So our objectives for tonight are very simple. We're going to look at the causes of holiday stress. We're going to talk about stress reactions and locus of control. And then we're going to discuss what decisions we can make to help ourselves. And I want to thank Cascade Centers Incorporated for this amazing presentation that they put together. I just happen to be a custodian of the information, and I always want to give credit to where credit is due. Powerful, powerful stuff. And so again, I just want to thank that organization for putting together this amazing PowerPoint for us and giving us the opportunity to talk about it today. All right. Look at these graphics. I love it. Santa's, everybody's in here. The reindeers, the elves are in here. Frosty, the snowman is everybody. Santa don't believe in himself. Frosty says he might be bipolar. Rudolph, all the other reindeer laugh at me and call me names. And the elf says I'm trapped in a dead end job. So the reality is that all of our holiday favorites have been gathered here today because everybody's a little stressed out. So our hope is that as we leave this conversation today, you will feel a lot more comfortable with managing said stress and hopefully just being able to identify what it is. All right. So I like to listen. I grew up in church. I love a call and response. Okay. So I want you to unmute yourself at any given time. And I want you to talk to me. Talk to me. I'll talk back. Question. What is your biggest source of holiday stress this year? You can put it in the chat or you could just say it out loud. What is your biggest source of holiday stress this year? What's your biggest source of holiday stress this year? Okay. And don't be shy. Don't be shy. Let me know what is your
People.
Yeah. Okay, somebody said people. Uh-huh. People. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, what else? Shout it out to me. Shout it out to me.
Just the whole gathering during COVID now.
Yes. Because what does that mean? What does it look like, right? What does it look like post-COVID to even gather for the holidays, right? I remember last year, the news was begging us not to get together for the holidays. Like, please, whatever you do, don't get together for the holidays. We're further down the line post-COVID. We're still in it, but a little bit further down. And so there are a lot of people that have been vaccinated. Some people are getting their boosters, which was what we got a commercial for today. So some people have, some people haven't. The idea is that we can now kind of get together in a semi fashion, right? There's some caveats to it. So we are moving back to a semblance of normal. We're moving back to that, but right? So people are stressful. The idea of having the holidays with regards to how it relates to COVID, yes, that in and of itself is also stressful. Why are the holidays so stressful? Holidays can be expensive, right? We just live in the United States of America. We live in a capitalistic society. I don't know about y'all, but in a minute, Valentine's Day stuff is going to be out in the stores. Who am I talking to here today? Right? Am I lying? You're going to look up and it's going to be heart-shaped chocolate. That's going to be some old chocolate by the time somebody get that. That chocolate will have been sitting on the shelf since December, right? There's this idea of consumer. We just need you to consume. That is the society in which we live in. And that in of itself can really give birth to all different types of pressures, such as expenses. What does it mean? The pressure of gift giving. I got put into a gift giving thing at my job, and I really wasn't going to get nobody at my job, nothing. But now they didn't put my name in it. If I don't do it, it was my boss going to look at me funny. This is real stuff where you had no intention of doing anything at your job. You don't like them people. You're just trying to go home. Now you can pick somebody's name. Now you got somebody's name. And don't let it be somebody you don't even like. Am I telling the truth in here? The pressure of gift giving. Not only that, gift giving for those who we do love. It's still pressure. It's a different type of pressure, right? Being too busy. Oh my gosh, it just starts to pile up, right? Because life doesn't stop. Kids have this kind of game to go to. They have these type of sporting events. You're running around picking them up, and then you got to make dinner, and then the house needs to be clean, and you still have deadlines for projects at work, and you still have loved ones at one time and attention, and you still got to tuck them in at night, and you still got to do the laundry, and you still have to iron, and you still got to go to the first day Sunday because the women all wear white, and then you got to go to the youth Christmas program, and then it's just too much. Y'all notice the parking lots get packed? The traffic changes in LA due to holidays, right? And so it gets to be too much. Too much togetherness or not enough togetherness. This is also stressful. I thought this was very great. Really, really good stuff, right? Sometimes if you are an extrovert, this is the person who just loves being around people versus the introvert. Here's a great way to look at this. Introverts lose energy the more they're with people. They deflate. To be in a group gathering, it takes away their energy. An extrovert is charged. They gain energy from being around people. They love it. They live for it. Whereas the extrovert is like, I will go to said event. However, when are we leaving? And I just got here. Right. And it's fine. There's no judgment. We need extroverts and we need introverts. But too much togetherness, not enough togetherness. This also speaks to an emotional thing. There are some people who are quite lonely during the holidays. Quite lonely during the holidays. And what do we do with those feelings of isolation? right? What if we've lost someone, right? All of those make an impact on the stress of the holidays. Overindulgence in eating and drinking and the regrets that may come along with it, right? Oh my God, I had too much pecan pie. I had too much sweet potato pie for Thanksgiving. I had to, we're trying to be who it is that we want to be. We're trying to do what we're trying to do, right? All of that is so important to be thinking about, right? And then wanting everything to be perfect. Ooh, let's talk about that. I just got to buy one more decoration. I just need one more placemat. Oh, Auntie so-and-so is coming. I just need some more pillows. I just need another pillowcase. I just need another blanket. Everything has to be perfect. They wanted the Polly Pocket, and they wanted the zebra, and they wanted the Elmo, and I just got to get the Tickle Me Elmo 2. It can't be Tickle Me Elmo 1. Am I talking to somebody in here today? I hope this is making sense. It is.
You're hitting it on the target.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. All of this builds up, and it's very, very stressful, right? Because these are stressors that are specific to the holidays. These are stressors that are specific to the holidays. That's why. These are stressors that are specific to the holidays. Okay. Stress level high during the holidays. Retailers are taking steps to keep shopping stress under control. Look at these statistics. During the holidays for both customers and the employees. People who experience negative emotions during the holidays. We got 68% fatigue, 61% stress, 52% irritability, 36% report sadness. This is the American Psychological Association. 35% anger. Top things that people find stressful during the holidays. Lack of time. We just feel like we just don't have enough time. We just don't have enough time. Lack of money. I don't have enough money. And again, let's kind of go back to this idea of every time we look up, there's a commercial about what we need to buy, what we need to get. There's a Mercedes with a bow on it. And then there's an Infinity truck with the bow on it. And then there's puppies and dogs and cats. And then there's some clothes. And it's like everywhere we look, it's just buy, 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 buy. And then so that leaves us feeling some kind of way if we don't have enough money. I got more month and not enough paycheck. Right? Commercialism hype, 53, they're right there. American Psychological Association is saying the same thing. Too much commercialism and hype around the holidays. Gift-related pressure, 47% of people. Family gatherings. The gatherings themselves are a source of stress. So what retailers are doing to keep shoppers under control and workers from breaking down? They're hiring undercover cops to police stores, keeping hot items off the shelves to avoid fights by using waiting lists. These are real things that the retailers have already been thinking about. They're running rehearsals to simulate a shopping frenzy. And they're providing stress counseling for the workers. The workers, because we're talking about us as the consumer, but some of you on this call or your family and friends, they actually work in retail. So they're getting both sides of it. So there's some opportunities though. There are some good opportunities, right? There's some good opportunities. The holidays can provide great opportunities. So it's not all bad. I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing anything. It's not all bad. Yeah, okay. So there's some great things. Let's look at some wonderful things that can happen. All right. It does give us an opportunity to reconnect. It does give us an opportunity to reconnect. It does help us to focus on gratitude for what we do have. Right? It gives us, the holidays provide a great opportunity for us to celebrate traditions. Religious, spiritual, cultural, family, and personal traditions. So the goal of our conversation today is, how can we make the most of these opportunities while minimizing the stress, right? Because it's not all bad. It's not all doom and gloom. And so at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, we get to manage it. We just have to come up with the ways and the strategies, right? So how can we make the most of these opportunities while minimizing stress? All right, here we go. How do I know if I'm stressed? It's the first thing. This is what it feels like. There's physical symptoms to stress. There's fatigue, sleep disruption, muscle tension, headache, gastrointestinal problems. These are some indicators, all right? I want us to kind of be aware of this. It's really being aware of our bodies, right? Our body is powerful. We have to have pain receptors because the pain indicates to us, hey, pull your hand out of the fire. It's being burnt. We got to have pain. Those pain receptors play a valuable role. So our body is trying to say something to us, right? Muscle tension, headaches, gastrointestinal problems, fatigue, sleep disruption, thoughts and feelings. If we are noticing that we're a little bit more irritable with our kids, with our partners, coworkers, friends, anxiety, right? Anxiety is excessive worry. It's excessive worry, right? And I want to be very clear the difference between general anxiety disorder versus depression, right? General anxiety is excessive worry, whereas depression has a lot to do with this intense level of sadness, depressed mood. So think anxiety, excessive worry, right? And so this is what we're saying right here. Lack of focus, forgetfulness, low self-esteem, and then there's depression. It starts to creep up. And then there's some behavioral signs and symptoms of this, which is procrastination. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. I'll call them back later. I'll call them tomorrow. And tomorrow turns into the next day, and the next day turns into a week, right? Negativity. And then, here's some negative coping. Sometimes we may turn to substances and alcohol to try to get through. Some people want to self-medicate to kind of get through, right? So this is what we just need to be aware of. So there's a cycle of holiday stress, and we got to kind of figure out where we have to control. Somebody said on here today, which is great. I said, what's stressful for the holiday? They said, people. Guess what? You showed up today in my PowerPoint, right? People, stuff, and expectations. People, stuff, and expectations. So kind of being aware of when can we interrupt this little cycle and take the control back and take control of the narrative, whether it's with people, stuff, or expectations. Here we have the locus of control. I love locus of control. Has anybody heard this before? Locus of control is a psychological concept that we learn in mental health. And it's a concept that refers to how strongly people believe they have control over the situations and experiences that affect their life. Right? And we have internal locus of control and we have external locus of control. There are some things that we have control over, and there's some things that we don't. Okay, I'll give you an example. Someone said this amazing quote to me once. They said, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond. I was like, ooh, okay. I was like, let's get an example. You're driving, you're on your way to work. Somebody cuts you off. 10% what happens to you. What you say after the person cuts you off, that's the 90% how you respond. You have no control of that person in that camera in front of you. You have no control over who's driving that Toyota Camry in front of you. And when they decide to get in your lane with no blinker, that's the 10% you have no control over. But what you do have control over is how you respond, right? How you respond. When your boss comes and says, you know what, if you can take this extra project on for me, I would really appreciate it. How are you going to respond to that? How do you respond to that? Uh-oh, I'm like, really interesting. Well, let me see if I can do that. Then you start looking at your job description, other duties as assigned. That's the caveat that they always leave in your job description, so they can give you something extra to do. Right? So when it comes to locus of control, there's some things that require action, and there's some things that are like C priority, like A is the top, B is the middle, and they don't, and like C, that would be the stuff that doesn't require your attention right away. And then knowing that there's some events that are beyond your control and they require us to just accept them, right? That's what this slide is about. And so understanding that there's some things that are out of our control and there's some things that are in our control automatically comes to helping us with having realistic expectations. Because what happens is we will exist in a space whereby we think everything is, we have control over it. And we don't. We don't. Okay. I hope this is making sense. Okay. Who are the holiday cast of, who are your holiday cast of characters? We're going to take this back to family. Okay. We got to get ready. And as much as holiday is a great time for us to reconnect with people, that we listen, we all have a cast of characters in our family. Okay, I know. No, I don't care if you the Obamas. I don't care if you Jay-Z and Beyonce. Everybody got a relative that they really is like, okay, let me prepare. Let me get ready for this person. Let's get ready. So let's talk about it. Let's kind of go in. George Burns once said, happiness is having a large, loving, caring, close-knit family in another city. I love all those beautiful adjectives, in another city, right? And so let's really have a conversation about it, okay? Plan ahead. We're going to identify people, the people who are most difficult for you, and make a plan for how you would like to behave when you're around them this year. Now, y'all might be thinking this is real crazy. And because it's like role playing with somebody. But let me tell you, you do this already. You talk about this individual with your best friend already. And you already role play in your mind what you're going to say and what you're not going to say. I know for a fact, I've heard my mother growing up have these conversations. Girl, I tell you what, because if I see Sister Lil at church on Sunday, let me tell you, I'm going to have to pray my strength, because she already doing a role play with her best friend. Now that's a church scenario, but the same thing is for family. And you really do have to go through an internal dialogue with yourself. Why? Because you want to make sure that you're not giving your power of control over to somebody else. Don't give nobody that much power. As we're going into the holidays, we know what we're going in. We know who the cast of characters are. And so we want to just kind of prepare ahead of time so that we don't end up in a place where we're dysregulated. In the world of therapy, we talk about self-regulation, we talk about regulating, and we talk about being dysregulated. And oftentimes, we can allow ourselves to be dysregulated as a result of the stressors that may be coming from other things. And right now, we're talking about difficult family members, right? So playing this out in your head will give you the advantage, because when you see that person at that event, you already got your boop, boop, boop point you're going to hit, and we're going to keep it pushing. In other words, you are going to become the best version of yourself. And the best version of yourself is you being able to already have on deck conflict resolution skills handy. Avoiding hot button topics. Don't bring up the baby if ain't nobody talking about the baby. Don't bring up. Don't. They not married? Shh, leave it alone.
No politics.
Okay? No politics. Leave it alone. If you know half your family ain't for vaccination and you did and you on your booster, why you gonna bring it up? Or if it's the other way around and everybody full and you're not. Stick to your guns, but avoid hot button topics. It's no need. We want to just enjoy each other. We don't have to go in a direction that's going to cause a lot of unnecessary. That ain't
But
her
we
roommate.
You
Huh?
can
But
have
what's
in the basket by the door, right?
right, right,
Okay.
right, right. Okay, let's leave it alone. That ain't her roommate. They together. Leave it alone. Everybody knows. Just leave it alone. We know that we know they ain't just roommates. Just leave it alone. Okay, why you gonna bring it up? The roommate comes every holiday. We know they together. Leave it alone. They'll come out when they're ready to come out. Leave them alone. You can't force nobody to come out. Avoid hot button topics. Don't drink too much alcohol because we know that all of a sudden everybody got courage. You want to, because here's what we want to know. What we do. We want to avoid negative coping skills. This is not a judgment that you can't drink. That's not what this is about. But to the point in which you're not in control of yourself. That's what that line means. There's no judgment. Let go of the need for perfection and enjoy the day as is. Some of the most beautiful holiday memories comes from mess ups. You know, when you're teaching your kid how to make the macaroni and cheese and they put in too much this and this, enjoy it. They're kids. They're not supposed to know how to do anything. That's the whole point of them needing you. If they knew how to do everything, they would leave you at 8 and go get an apartment. Why are we putting all these expectations on them?
Right.
Am I telling the truth? If they were so perfect at 12, they would be closing escrow.
Right.
They're not supposed to know. So why are you expecting them to act like they're 34? And stressing yourself out because it didn't come out right. Enjoy your babies because they're going to get to an age where they're not going to want to deal with you. They're going to be out hanging with their people. Don't let me start talking to you about psychosocial stages of development because there's a point in time when they hit them teenage years and they're trying to find their identity outside of the family identity. And it's nothing personal, but they're going to pull away from you and that's healthy and normal. So enjoy them now. And really lay those family traditions and those cultural traditions and build that relationship so they have a safe place to come back to as they're experimenting with who they are in those teen years. Remember, like you did. Right? So I always like to tell parents, pause for the cause. Enjoy it. The mess ups are the best part. Laugh. You know, the little TV movies where they putting flour on their nose. I mean, sometimes I wish I had those memories with my mom. My mom was like, boy, don't waste my flour. Ain't no put no flour on nobody knows. Boy, don't waste my oil. You know how much oil costs. You know, sometimes in families of color, we be real hard on. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Because the reality is, if you didn't get the decorations up like you wanted to on time, and there's one more bag of pine cones you didn't put up, so what? Enjoy the moment. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the people. You're making great memories. Oh my God, y'all forgot to put out the peach cobbler. Well, put it out now. We'll eat it. Like, it's okay. It didn't go out with the banana pudding. We're gonna still eat it. So let go of the need for perfection and enjoy the day as is. That's for life. I can do a whole PowerPoint on that. Practice gratitude. Let's find one reason you are grateful for each family member, and no matter how annoying you find them to be, right? We all have flaws, right? We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. And so the idea is you know what? Auntie so-and-so can really be nosy. But what I do appreciate is she's loyal. Uncle so-and-so can be a little bossy. But what I do appreciate is when my back is up against the wall, I know I can count on them. So just know that you got to find gratitude. Okay. What are the expectations? Oh my God. Society's holiday messages represent a cultural push and pull towards this idealized togetherness, right? That's what society's holiday messages represent. It's a cultural push and pull towards this idealized togetherness. And so expectations from us, and others to look our best, wear our best, serve our best, and to be at our best. Those are what some of those expectations are. This is when everybody pulls out the good silver. This is when everybody pulls out the good china. Right? These are those expectations. And so what expectations do you struggle with? Anybody can jump in. That's a question in real time. What expectations for the holidays do you struggle with? You can think about it. I'll give you a couple of seconds, right? Because overall, this expectation is it's idealized togetherness. And that's what we kind of struggle with because it's family, it's the holidays, we got to be together. And this is what it should look like. And this is how it should go. And this is how everything should unfold. And so the expectation is we look our best, wear our best, serve our best, be at our best. And sometimes that's not always the reality. So that's an expectation. But what expectations do you struggle with? Any? Don't y'all be shy.
My expectations are things will go back to normal and be how they used to be. But we've lost family members. So we have to establish our new normals. And, you know, those expectations that we had from the past have to change, you know, but it's still hard.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that she brought that up because we touched on it very briefly, but what does come with the holidays is family togetherness, but what happens when there's an empty spot at the table? Because we lost somebody. I have clients right now that are dealing with that. Unexpected death earlier in the year. And this is the first. Another client, unexpected death a couple of months ago. So what we have is the year of first. First Thanksgiving without them. First Christmas without them. First New Year without them. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And so in the beginning, we're at our most vulnerable. It's raw. The feelings and the emotions are right there on the edge. Right? And so these are valid concerns. But I like what Ms. Alberta says because she's talking about this. In other words, we're working through the pain to find peace on the other side. We got to process the pain, work through it so that we can get to the peace on the other side. And a part of what that looks like is being able to rename and take over the narrative for what we want the holiday to look like now that it's a little different. And it's our prerogative to do so. We get to change it. We get to make a new tradition. And it's not easy. That's not something that we do overnight. So I don't want in any way to act as if that's going to happen tomorrow. But there is a process to it. Love it. The thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning the work of becoming yourself. Ooh. We throw this in because, again, there is this expectation that everything has to work out exactly how I thought it was supposed to work out in my head. And the minute we change our expectations, that in of itself helps with the anxiety and the stress. Right? The thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect. And we're just going to be ourselves. Everybody know I can't make this. That's all right. I can do this. Right? Whatever that fill in the blank is. We got a cousin right now. Don't you ever ask her to make the macaroni and cheese. She is banned from making macaroni and cheese, and she know who she is. She's not on this Zoom, but she know who she is. She made macaroni and cheese one year and thought it some recipe she didn't found, and it called for you to put a little bit of beer. We said, don't you ever in the history of Harriet Tubman do that again. The ancestors are rolling over in their grave. What possessed you? And guess what though? We laugh about it to this day. It is one of the signature conversations that are going to come up. Remember that year when so-and-so made that macaroni and cheese with that beer? Everybody balls out laughing. So it's the fun part. It's enjoying and giving up the idea of being perfect. Nobody was mad. Nobody cussed anybody. We didn't throw the macaroni and cheese up against the wall. It was a time for you got in trouble, and we just got on you, as we would in all Black family situations. You just got. But that's the beauty of it. I hope that's making sense. Adjusting our expectations. I want to sound like a broken record on purpose. Don't aim for perfection. Expect things to go wrong. The more closely your plans match what is likely to happen, the more enjoyable your holidays will be. That's where the stress is. Okay, it's okay. You know what? So-and-so, we're going to cry a little bit because we miss them, but that's okay. We're going to hug, we're going to laugh, and we're going to cry. And we're saying it right up front that all of that is okay. It's okay. Because we're setting the expectations, we're setting the tone, and we're saying that it's okay because we're all human. Look at what has happened in the past and plan for how you will handle that this time around. If somebody was supposed to pick up the so-and-so and they didn't do it, we're just going to get somebody else to do it. Or we just need to text them 10 times. Contingency plans can be helpful, but it is more helpful to be able to roll with the changes. You can't plan for everything. So here's the antithesis to planning is also just being able to know what is the most constant thing about human life, and that's change. Things will never be the same all the time. So we have to be able to flow, and we got to be able to adapt to those said changes. The stuff. 93% of Americans exchange gifts. What makes gift giving stressful? What is the reason for holiday gifts? How do we promote more meaning in the gift giving? Acknowledge your feelings for the holidays or any time of year. This is what we're talking about when it comes to stress management. And let me go back because I don't want it to feel like we just passed past this. For 1 minute, let's just focus on this real quick. I just had a thought. 93% of Americans exchange gifts. What makes gift giving stressful? We talked about that earlier. A part of that is just feeling like we don't have enough financial resources to even participate in the gift giving. That in of itself can be stressful. Some of the things we do is that we'll just pick names so that everybody's not going to get a gift. We exchange names, coming up with our own norms, right? Setting reasonable expectations. Not only are we going to cut down on the gift giving because we may not be able to provide everybody their own individual gift. So it immediately takes the stress out. Okay, we're just going to do name change. And we're going to set the monetary value for the gift so that everybody's in agreement. We're setting it at $50. We're going to pick names. Now we're good. Does that make sense? And then it changes the level of stress because now I don't need to get 15 gifts. I just need to get 1. Now I don't have to get 13 gifts. I'm just going to get 2. And everybody's on the same page. So these are some of the things I want you to think about. Real life applications of how you can take away the stress because this is your way of celebrating and you get to change the rules. You get to do it how you want to do. There's no holiday police coming around saying, I can't believe you didn't wrap all them gifts. I can't believe, nobody's saying there's no holiday police. I can't believe you didn't have no fall cornucopia centerpiece. How dare you? Nobody's doing that. You and your family, you get to decide, right? What is the reason for the gifts? And then you get to promote more meaning. One year, you know what disclosure my mother did? She said, all of our gifts for Christmas have to be something that we made. Crazy. It was fun. It was a challenge. And she gave us all these different things we could do. It was a lot. My mom was a school teacher, so just to let y'all know right there. That's such a school teacher thing to do. Ain't nobody else's mama was doing that. We were like, okay. But again, she made it so fun. She was such a great salesperson. We didn't know. We just thought it was norm. You know why? Because she already had the idea is I am in charge and I get to set the tone for my family on how the holidays will be done. We were kids. We were the blank slates. We had fun coming up with all kind of cool. I think she took us to Michael's or some little shop and we got all this little cool stuff and we were painting. I think I made my mom a jewelry box. She still got, as a matter of fact, I still had, it was macaronis and everything, right? So you're coming up with your own ideas of how to make the holidays work. General stress management for the holidays or anytime. You know what's really good to get away sometimes from our own stress? It's a volunteer. It's nothing like working with somebody else to help change the focus from yourself and to really appreciate everything that you have. The Union Rescue Mission in downtown Los Angeles, I used to work for them a couple of years ago, and they're always open to people serving in the soup kitchen. You just call the number and you sign up and they'll tell you what date. And I think you just got to have a TB test, something like that. Because when you're working with the homeless population, something like that. And I could be wrong, but don't quote me on that. But it's such an easy way to completely shift the focus from you, but to somebody else. It's in downtown LA. And they provide parking if you get there early. Literally, reading a book to kids. There's so many different programs that are always looking for volunteers during this time of year. Listen to holiday music. Oh my gosh, is really a great way to reduce stress or something else if it drives you crazy. Give a gift to someone who isn't expecting it. That's always a nice twist. I know we just talked about gift giving, but again, gifts doesn't mean you have to be super expensive. Make time for yourself, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. I cannot stress to you how important it is for you to have self-care. Any questions so far? I want y'all to feel free to jump in. Talk to someone who listens. You have your village, you have your bestie, you have your BFF, you have that friend, right? 10-minute exercise or stretching. Visualize, calm, relax. We're all about visualization. And you know what's really great, because it's 2021, it's their stuff on YouTube. You can literally type in meditation, visualization on YouTube. And what will happen is a voice will come on and they'll start guiding you through a visualization. Think of a place that gives you peace. Now, as you see that place, what do you see? Name the things you see. What do you smell? And for me, it's always the beach, right? And so there's a narrator who's prompting you on what you should be visualizing on YouTube. There's apps called Calm, C-A-L-M, that you can download, and you have your headphones, and now you have it on your phone everywhere you go. So there's different things that you can do. If you need to take a walk, if you need to get up from your desk, take some breaths. We hold it, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Exhale on 5. And it begins to put you in control of your body if you're starting to feel the anxiety and you're starting to feel these physical symptoms. So all in all, let's start your plan now. I want you to start thinking about it. What are you going to do? Thinking about those cast of characters that are getting ready to come, people you're going to interact with, recognizing what is within your control and be prepared to roll with what is not. Set limits. You can say no. You do not have to say yes to everything. Do you think you could just stop? Now, I know I already asked you to do this, but can you also do, oh, I'm not going to be able to. I definitely got you for the dessert, but I'm not going to be able to stop and get those extra 3 items. That's okay. Set limits. You may not be able to go to every event. You may not be able to pick this person up. It's okay. And focus on what is important to you. Focus on what is important to you. How you want to celebrate the holidays are the most important aspect of this entire conversation. You are in charge. You are in charge. You get to dictate and decide how your holidays go. If this is the year where you want to take all them holiday food off the menu and you want to do Chinese takeout, that's on you. You get to do whatever you want to do. Are you kidding me? This is your time and how you want to spend it with your family, and you get to make it up as you go, as you see fit. If you want to throw tradition out the window and do something completely different, it's totally okay. Sometimes we learn the rules so we can break them. I got a friend right now that you go over their house, it's as if they should charge you for how many holiday decorations they have up in their house. It's like Christmas just exploded. And you know what they do? They watch scary movies. I said, what do you do? She said, we decorate everything. As soon as Thanksgiving is over, we decorate the whole house. We make traditional holiday food and we watch scary movies. I go, y'all are crazy. And she goes, I know, we love it. Our whole family, it's a tradition. I'm like, y'all are crazy. They love it. It's their tradition. It's their thing. You get to do whatever you want. Go to the beach. I dare you. Go to the beach for things. Do it. We are at this hot weather. Do it. It was 90 degrees yesterday. Have fun. Breathe. You got this. All right. Special thanks to Cascade Centers for this amazing content. And I want to say thank you for attending. This is it. We're going to open it up to you, Miss Alberta. I'm going to stop sharing. And you are now in control.
Thank you. I want to definitely thank you so much because quite a few of my family members are here and you spoke to us and we truly appreciate it. And we look forward to sharing this presentations with other people that could not make it here.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's evolving and changing, you know, right now I'm having a slight panic attack about how we gonna do desserts. Auntie Lucy not here. She always did the desserts, you know. And you know, we have to develop traditions to celebrate.
Oh, listen.
So special to us. But and even, you know, you were talking about you know, kids growing up, having their own lives, doing things, and we're at that age where we have to get used to that. You know, our kids have their own lives, and we're gonna have to do our own thing too. So you know,
right.
it's learning and it's you know, understanding that what we're feeling is normal, it's okay.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's
absolutely
good to talk about.
It's such a good thing to talk about. You know, I have to give credit to my mother. My mother passed in 2015, so she's not here with us any longer. But what I think she was really good on was noticing those changes. When we were younger, Christmas was very traditional around the tree. Gift opening, paper everywhere, very traditional. As we started to get older, she was like, okay, we're going to do this for Christmas. We're going to Las Vegas for Christmas. What? And I remember other family members thought she was crazy. But what I really believe in retrospect, she was zeroing in on the changes within us as a family. They're not little kids anymore. And so the draw of it, that traditional approach was just kind of like evolving into something else. So how do I keep my family together, but make it fresh and new? And she's like, I don't feel like cooking. We're going down to Vegas. We're going to see a show. Somebody else is going to cook Christmas dinner. I ain't got to do no dishes. I got to clean up. And she was a great salesperson. And we were like, yes. And we're going to hit up the mall and we're going to get those sales. Talking to teenagers.
Yeah.
She checked all the boxes. And guess what she was brilliant at? We all were together. Brilliant. Yes. Brilliant.
Yes.
Okay, next year, we're going on a Christmas cruise. We ain't never been on a cruise for Christmas. I know, but the prices are real affordable. Let's go see what it's like. We may not like it, but we're going to see. Just trying to come up with different things to keep the holiday fresh and reinventing it. You get to do whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. You really get to do whatever you want. And there may be some naysayers, but at the end of the day, It was like, here, we love you. We'll see you at the Christmas Eve party, and we'll be going or whatever, So there's always some ebb and flow. There's always some give and take.
Well, we thank you so much, and definitely appreciate you and all that you say. Before we leave, I'm gonna share my screen once again. Share. And just remind folks in terms of our COVID care, if I can get everything to operate. The talk right now is the boosters, and vaccinatela.com will give you information regarding the boosters, and we want everybody to be covered. So definitely, if you don't have insurance, look into getting insurance now. And as always, we invite you to our parent power groups, encourage other folks to come, and we're always learning something new. So thank you, and we'll see you next week. And I'm sure I'll see you, Kenneth, at one of your Jenesse events.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night. And again, thank you for inviting me to come back. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.